10.7. We're looking at inverse. We're going to do inverse graphs today. We're going to look at inverse graphs today. Okay? So, we're going to start with the inverse of a function reverses the order of the inputs and outputs of the function. The inverse of f of x is written as f of negative 1 y, and pronounce the inverse function inverse of x, and pronounce the inverse function of x.
Today the 14th.
Yep. X. The inverse of a function reverses the order of the inputs and the outputs of the function. The inverse of a function is written f of negative 1 x, and pronounce the inverse function of x. Okay, so all this means is all my x's are now y's, all my y's are now x's. Okay, so we're going to graph this first one. At 0, I'm at negative 1. At 0.5, I'm at negative 0.75. At 1, I'm at 0. At 1.5, I'm at 1.25. And at 2, I'm at 2. So here we go. Okay? The inverse of that is going to be, as x is negative 1, y is 0. As x is negative 0.75, y is 0.5. So at negative 0.75, we're at 0.5.
So you just reverse?
Yep. As x is at 0, y is at 1. As x is at 1.25, stop talking other than asking questions. It's at 1.5. So at 1.25, I'm at 1.5. And then as x is at 2, y is at 2. Oh, this should be, that's why I'm messing up. This should be 2. Right there. X is at 2, we should be at 2. Okay? So, how does f of x compare to f of negative 1? All the x's are y's, and all the y's are x's. Okay? We could kind of draw an imaginary line right here, and it flipped our graph on that imaginary line.
All of the x and y.
All of the x's are y's, and all the y's are x's. Flipped on imaginary line. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and do 2. So, let's first, you can do it that way first if you want, or you can find each of these numbers. What's the square root of 0? What's the square root of 1? What's the square root of 4? What's the square root of 9? What's the square root of 16? Okay, so this one is 0, 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, 9, 3, 16, 4. Right there. And then my next one is going to be the reverse. At 0, it's 0. At 1, it's 1. But at 2, it's 4. At 3, it's 9. And at 4, it's 16. So 0, 0, 1, 1 is still the same.
Wait, okay, back up. Just a second. How did you get, I was just finishing up the first first chart, the second chart, how do you get those numbers?
You just reverse. X's go here, Y's go there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so 0, 0, 1, 1, I'm at 2, I'm at 4. 3, I'm at 9. And 4, I'm at 16. Again, do you almost see this imaginary line right here? Okay. Let's, huh? It flipped along that imaginary line.
Wait, so what?
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and look at number 3. Let's look at number 3. Okay. Number 3. First, we're going to calculate the slope. I'm just going to use the last two things. You could use whichever one you wanted to find the slope.
8 and 1.
So I'm just going to go 10 minus 8 over 2 minus 1. Remember, it's y2 minus y1 over
Oh,
x2
yeah.
minus x1. Okay. Here's my y2, x2, y1, x1. Okay.
Why'd you choose the bottom ones again?
It doesn't matter. You could have chosen any two that you wanted.
Oh,
Okay. I got 2 over 1 or 2 as my slope. Okay. Now we need to put this in the equation. Do you guys remember point slope? Y minus y1 equals 2, equals x times x minus m, y minus y1, wow guys, sorry, equals m times x minus x1. Point slope form?
Yeah, I remember it. It's very faint.
You definitely did it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
100%. And we did it at the beginning of the year. You did it with either me or Miss Rowe, and you did it last year. So we're just going to plug these in. Y1, X1, and M, I'm going to plug in. So I get Y
minus 8.
minus 8 equals M, which is 2, times
How would you know? Oh,
Slope.
it's the M slope.
X minus 1. And then I'm going to distribute Y minus 8 equals 2X minus 2. Y1 is 8. Y1 is 8, right there.
Wait, why is it 2?
Why one is 8?
Minus 2.
So now I'm going to add 8 to both sides.
Why is it 2x minus 2?
Because I distributed.
Oh, okay.
So I get Y equals 2X plus 6. So far, so good?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to graph that function. I'm going to put a dot at 6. Means I go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Or down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find the equation and graph, but of its inverse. So I've got all the points already. I'm just going to switch them, right? Y is going to go to X. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And X is going to go to Y. So I get negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Can I explain the graph? So I put a dot on the Y-intercept, which is 6. And then I go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, or down 2 over negative 1, down 2 over negative 1. Okay. All right. So we're going to calculate the slope. I'm going to use the last two numbers again just to show you that we get 2 minus 1 over 10 minus 8. Okay? Where this is x1, y1, x2, y2. All right. See how it's reversed? I took this and I flipped it over. So I'm going to get 1/2 is my m. And then I'm just going to put it into y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Let me tell you right now, you don't even need to use this if you don't want to. Because what's my slope? We can use y equals mx plus b. What's my slope?
So we can do M.
Yeah, what's my slope? my b? Oh wait,
Your B, oh, sorry, that's the,
it's the y-intercept, so it's when x is. Can I do I have a 0 here?
no.
Okay, do you see now why I'm doing this equation? Okay. So I'm going to say y minus y1
Y minus Y1.
equals m, which is 1/2, times x minus x1 is 8.
Stop.
So now I'm going to distribute, and I get y minus 1 equals 1/2 x minus 4. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So y equals 1/2 x minus 3.
Why is it 8?
Right here, I labeled them y1 and x1.
Oh, yeah.
You could use any point on the graph, though, actually. You get the same answer. So I'm going to put a dot at -3. Then I'm going to go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, and so on. And down 1 over -2, down 1 over -2, down 1 over -2. There we go. Graph of both functions. Okay. The next page is exactly like this, except with different equations. Okay? And the last page is very similar to the first page. So you are going to do the rest of this for homework. That's it. Okay? Tomorrow we're going to do a little bit more with inverse before giving your review.